This is a tutorial to make the IDWs or the drawing files on Inventor. We're using the puzzle cube as a model for this. Here's a finished drawing. You can see I've got a front, top, side view, and the isometric. I have dimensions for the width, the height, the depth. So this is our end goal here. Okay, this is the part I made it for, and I do find it's helpful if you have the part file opened, and I'll show you why in a second. All right, so we go to the Inventor main menu, select New. All right, the third one down are our drawing files, and we want to do a standard.idw. Okay, we're going to work left to right, so we're going to start with the base view. Okay, that's going to be our front view. We're going to put that in the bottom left-hand corner. All right, there's different files you can choose from. Because I only have one part file open, it's going to default to that, but I can just go ahead and browse to find other parts if that's what I was looking for. I have to select the right orientation. So don't just default to front view. Inventor will default to the front view, but that might not actually be the best front view. So in my case, I think actually the left view is the most descriptive view, and that'll be my front view. Okay, you can change the scale. In this case, I think 2:1 is probably better for the puzzle cube. And then we can also change some styles. So right now, I want to make sure I have hidden lines on. This is a technical sketch, so I want to be able to see those hidden lines. This is the hidden line removed. So once I click on hidden line, it'll turn this option off. And then there's shaded. So shaded, we'll just bring it in with color. I want to make sure shaded is turned off again because it's a technical sketch, so I want it to just be in black and white. All right, and then I can just click to put where the front view is. If your menu is in the way, you can just drag that, so it's not blocking your view, to make sure you actually click the proper place for the front view. Do not put it in the bottom left-hand corner, because then when you put the side view, it's going to end up sitting on top of your title block here. So kind of imagine that top of the title block coming over, give yourself a little bit of a margin, you put the front view in. Okay, it automatically goes into projected view. Okay, so I am going to put the top view, and it lines it up perfectly for you. And then I'll put the side view. Okay, and then we will also put the isometric in there. So as I'm clicking, you can see it's just putting in a box. It's not actually making what the part looks like. So that's okay. Once you have all three boxes in there, right click, hit create, and it'll put those in there for you. All right, so there's my front, top, side of my isometric. I'm now ready to put dimensions on there. I'm going to change my menu over to annotate. First thing, there's dimension. And let's start with some width dimensions. All right, so I like to do these as sort of baseline dimensions. So I know I need 2 dimensions here. I need one from here to here. I pulled it up, and you can see as I drag it up, sometimes it's solid, sometimes it's dashed. That's a style thing. So anytime it's dashed, Inventor's letting you know that's a good place to put the dimension. So I'm going to click there for that. And then I'll do that again for the overall dimension. And so the nice thing here is you don't actually have to figure out the number. You've already done that back on the part. We already said how wide this should be. So it's just going to use those same numbers you did there. So if you did the part file correctly, these numbers should be correct. So this can be a good way to check that things are right. We know for the puzzle cube, all our dimensions should be 0.75, 1.5, or 2.25. So if you're not seeing those numbers, you need to go back and edit your part file. All right, that takes care of the width. Let's do the height next. So here's another option. Next to dimension, you can select baseline. And what I can do is basically select my baseline, so this one, and then all other lines in that series. So if I'm measuring the height, I want to measure to here and also to here. So I want to measure the distance from the baseline to this line and to this line. All right, once I click on those lines, I right click, hit continue, and it brings in both of those dimensions for me automatically. All right, so it's just kind of a faster way to complete your dimensions based on what compared to how I did it for the width dimensions. All right, so I have width, I have height, I just have to do depth now. I'm actually going to do the depth up here in the top view. I'll use this baseline tool again. So again, I'm selecting basically the baseline or the first line, and then all other lines in that series. And then I right click and hit create. Let's try that again. Baseline, and then all other lines in that series. There you go. All right, then I can save that, and that IDW is done. So remember to get your three directions dimension. That's the width, the height, and the depth. It is okay to have views that are not dimensioned, and do not put any dimensions on your isometric view.